Hate me, don't you?
Tune in to Kons Podcast.
Hate me, don't you?
Kons Podcast.
Hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
Hate me, don't you?
So first up, got some new info on this David case, you know what I mean? David and Celeste case. Told you I was going to keep following that, you know what I mean? So this is definitely going to be a lot of clips involved with this case, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. People are tight-lipped. It is definitely more people involved. They was around a whole bunch of people. I mean, these two people had Carnival, you know what I'm saying? Carnival, my favorite cruise line, you know what I'm saying? Now might be the time to go and get you some Carnival tickets, you feel me? Because this hit the news. So how Disneyland operate, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear about anything happening on them lands, on that property, nothing, you feel me? But we all know things happen on that property. Bluface, you know what I'm saying? Bluface, I usually don't touch on, like I said, I don't touch on these ratchet stories, you feel me? Bluface is tied to everything. Got nothing to say on that. You feel me? Bluface is fresh out of jail. He's being horny, you know what I'm saying? He was around men for whatever amount of years in jail, working out and thinking it up. MIT puts out that AI can already replace 11.7% of the workforce. Yeah. What is happening? What is going on? What is happening? You know what I mean? It is Thanksgiving week. You know what I'm saying? What is Thanksgiving tomorrow? You know what I mean? So everybody is probably preparing their turkeys, marinating them, soaking them in whatever, putting them in whatever tonight. All the preparations is going in. You feel me? We are. Come close the fridge. Come close the fridge. God damn it. What was I saying? Yeah, so you know what I mean? Hope all y'all, everybody preparing right now, you know what I'm saying? Everybody getting the mash, whatever it is that you eat, the turkey, the mac and cheese, the gravy, the biscuits, the turkey, chicken, all the good eatings, you feel me? Everybody is probably preparing today if they ain't been preparing all week, you know what I mean? We are definitely entering in the holiday seasons, you know what I'm saying? They are definitely coming, you know what I mean? They are definitely here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I mean? I know it is a Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? November 26th, it is 2:06 in the afternoon, you know what I mean? A lot of your kids is out of school also, you know what I'm saying? Being that they're on their little Thanksgiving break, and then they go back to school for whatever, a week or two, and come back out of school for another week or two for Christmas, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is going on right now, you know what I'm saying? But also it is Wednesday. I know y'all ain't seen me since last week, you feel me? It has been a whole lot happening, a whole lot going on, a whole lot of personal things, a whole lot of emotion, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of dark clouds and a whole bunch of stuff been happening, you feel me? But y'all know whenever it is how it goes when I don't record, you know what I mean? There's definitely a lot happening, you know what I mean? And it is, you feel me? Yeah, just know that the days that you don't see me, just know that they are heavily warranted, you feel me? Validated, you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just a lot going on, just a lot happening. But I'm here today, you feel me? Middle of the week, you know what I'm saying? For episode 335, you know what I'm saying? Usually I don't even go over the recap because I feel like it just was too long ago. But we gonna go into the recap anyway, you know what I mean? Episode 334, in case you might have missed it, in case you didn't see it, in case you got up from the TV, missed what we was talking about, you was meaning to go back to it. Let me just give you a brief reminder, everything we went over in the last episode, you know what I mean? So last episode we went over Jake Paul finna fight Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying? December 19th, I believe I touched on that. Also Shedeur Sanders, you know what I'm saying, a controversial quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, had his home robbed, and he had to say on the podium, you know what I mean, at least they didn't take my jewelry. The most niggerish thing you could have said on the podium. Also, I bet you know new info on the David case. I got some new info on that case today, and also let you know about the swastika and nooses and Confederate flags. It's going to be looked at. It's going to be not be looked at, actually, as hate symbols. They are taking them off the chart of being a hate symbol. Lord have mercy. But yeah, that was last episode, you know what I'm saying? Today we going to go over 4 topics. We got 4 topics for you, so we're going to hurry up and get right into it, because this is definitely clip heavy, you know what I mean? Especially on the David case. Like I said, today we're going to be touching on new David information about this man and the girl that was found in the trunk, Celeste Rivas. Definitely got some new info on that. Also, Carnival, the cruise line that who all knows me, know that I love to take. You go on cruises on Carnival, you know what I'm saying? They had a body that was found on one of their cruises, you know what I'm saying? Also, I'm going to touch on some of this Bluface ratchetness that's going on. Usually, you know, when I touch on ratchet subjects, it don't be no subjects circulating or it's hard to find trending topics, you know what I'm saying? Usually, I leave this type of ratchet stuff alone. We're going to touch on Bluface's ratchetness today, you know what I mean? Also, MIT found out that AI is going to be replacing 11.7% of the workforce. You know what I'm saying? I always try to implement some tech in these shows, you feel me? Let you know that this AI is taking over slowly, you feel me? But surely, you know what I mean? So that's the topics we're going to be touching on today, episode 335, you know what I'm saying? But I hope all y'all is doing cool, you know what I mean? I hope y'all are having great weeks, you feel me? I hope y'all are having a great and better past 2-3 weeks than I have, you know what I mean? I hope y'all are doing cool, you know what I'm saying? It is a Wednesday, middle of the week, you know what I mean? Good hump day, you know what I'm saying? So why not start your hump day out with some topics from Kons podcast, you know what I mean? So without no more further ado, and we know the weather is, you know what I mean, definitely cloudy, overcast, you know what I'm saying, cold. It's a good 55 degrees out here today, you know what I mean? And that's what it's going to be probably till the end of the year and on into the next year, you know what I'm saying? It's good old fall weather. But without no more further ado, without no chit-chat of banter, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and jump into these topics, you know what I'm saying? So first up, got some new info on this David case, you know what I mean? The David and Celeste case. Told you I was going to keep following that, you know what I mean? So this is definitely going to be a lot of clips involved in this topic, you know what I'm saying? So just let you know, be prepared for that, you feel me? So new info on this David case, a lot I'm finna go into. It's about 10 minutes total clips, you know what I mean, on this situation. Since I last talked on this David case, he was named as a suspect, you know what I mean? LAPD named him as a suspect, and also let you know that he was not cooperating with LAPD, as they were putting it out there saying that he was cooperating at first, you know what I'm saying? Then we learned that he never was cooperating at all, you know what I mean? So recently Harvey from TMZ had reported, said that it was from a close source, and the medical examiner himself said that Celeste's body was frozen, you know what I'm saying? He speaks on this in this clip that you about to see right here of Harvey outside his bedroom or outside a hotel or something like that, speaking on how the body was frozen. Check it out real quick.
Major developments in the Celeste Rivas death. TMZ has learned that her body had been frozen, and when it was found, it was still partially frozen in the back of David's car, and it was in such bad condition that we are told the medical examiner may never be able to establish the cause of death. So here's what we know. When the body was found, it was in terrible condition. It had been decapitated, the torso was intact, the limbs had been removed, and they were cut up severely. The body was partially frozen in the trunk, and this is really important because remember, the body had been sitting there for days before it was finally impounded and then the body discovered. And it was still, the body parts were still partially frozen. So we are told that when the body first went to the medical examiner's office in early September, it was listed as an apparent homicide, but that was just from what seemed obvious, that the body was cut up into pieces. The medical examiner is having a really tough time right now trying to figure out what the cause of death was. We are told it is likely the cause of death will go undetermined because of the condition of the body and the fact that it was frozen and the fact that it was cut up the way it was. So we have told you that we know David is a suspect, and even if it is undetermined, the LAPD can still move forward, as could the LA County District Attorney. The LAPD is viewing this as a homicide. David is a suspect. We know this. And one of the keys to the case is a trip that authorities say David made in the middle of the night back in this spring to a remote area of Santa Barbara County. We are now also told that there is a second suspect, and our information is that the second suspect has something to do with the cutting up of the body. Now, Mark Garagos, who is my co-host on the Two Angry Men podcast, told us in the most recent podcast that his information is that this second suspect is being looked at not just for dismembering the body, but also for what happened before, during, and after Celeste's death. So there is a second suspect that the LAPD has its sights on. They have identified the person. Garriga says he knows who it is, not saying, but it is a second suspect implicated here. So obviously the question, how on earth did this body go from Santa Barbara, if that's indeed where it was taken? And that seems to be the operating theory of the LAPD, that if it was taken to Santa Barbara, how did it end up back in Los Angeles in the trunk of David's car in a residential neighborhood? The only thing that makes sense, and that's months and months later, the only thing that makes sense is that based on connecting the dots, it would seem that this body was put in a freezer for an extended period of time, and it was so frozen that by the time it got in the car, it took a long time for it to unfreeze, and it had not fully unfrozen at the time the body was discovered at the impound lot. So again, it looks like there may never be a cause of death determined by the medical examiner. The body was frozen. Just keep looking at TMZ. We will have more updates as the days pass.
You see, you know what I mean? That was Harvey from TMZ, you know what I'm saying, letting you know about that, saying that the body was frozen, and said that he had heard it from a source of the medical examiner, you know what I mean? So then the LAPD had put out this video debunking everything, saying that the body was not frozen, even mentioned TMZ and said that it was false, you know what I mean? So then after they said that, Harvey had also put this video out the news had put, the LAPD had put this video out speaking on Harvey debunking the frozen body. Check this one out.
The captain at LAPD has said our story about Celeste Rivas's body being partially frozen was incorrect, that the body had not been frozen. So we went back to a very well-connected source connected to the medical examiner, the LA County medical examiner, and they doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and sextupled down that the body was found in a partially frozen state. So there is a clear divide here between the information we're getting connected to the ME and the LAPD captain. I will tell you this, that there is a document that the medical examiner has where they wrote that they could not fingerprint Celeste because her fingers were waterlogged, which is interesting. So this is, a deep mystery. Now, everything's on a security hold. As we told you over the weekend, we're told the medical examiner probably will not be able to determine a cause of death or manner of death because the body was in such a decomposed and bad state. So where we are right now is, even though the medical examiner has not determined cause of death, we are told, and we have reported, that LAPD is considering this a homicide. They're viewing David as a suspect, say there is an accomplice who helped dismember the body. Again, that's what we are told by multiple sources. And there is not going to be an arrest immediately. That's the other thing we're told. Now, what doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think about it is, if the body was not frozen, where was it between this, if the LAPD's theory is right, that David may have actually dismembered the body, and this is again a theory, he's not been charged or convicted of anything, but if the theory is that the body may have been dismembered in Santa Barbara County in the spring. What happened in May, June, July, and August with his body, where in September it's found in David's Tesla. So there are a lot of mysteries in this case, but that is the latest.
You see, you know what I mean? That was him debunking the situation of him saying that the body was frozen. The next little clip you're going to see is Khadisha Lynn pretty much giving you all the info and more info along with the news report of them mentioning TMZ about the body being frozen, that it wasn't frozen and all this and that. This is the full clip with some new information and also summarizing the two clips that you just seen. Check it out.
New information coming out about Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. We are now getting clarity from the LAPD that this is a homicide investigation into what happened to Celeste, and also learning that there are witnesses or people who are cooperating with the LAPD giving them information. As I reported last night, the LAPD did break their silence and they were talking about a lot of different things and also disputing TMZ's reporting that Celeste was frozen and that her head was not intact. All of this is being reported by the Los Angeles Times. LAPD Detective Joshua Bowers, a veteran of the Robbery Homicide Division who is handling Celeste's case, filed a declaration in court on Friday that described their probe as an unaliving investigation. And the Los Angeles Times said that they saw these court documents, and this was the LAPD writing a declaration to the judge to try to get that security hold, which was granted on Friday. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Craig Richmond granted the LAPD's request and ordered that the medical examiner's findings be sealed. In this court declaration, the detective said that making the autopsy findings public would reveal or tend to reveal the ongoing investigation and the integrity of the investigation, as well as the identity of witnesses and or informants who are cooperating with law enforcement. The information they have provided could endanger the lives of witnesses or compromise the investigation. The judge then ordered that the declaration, supporting documents, and the court order itself be sealed and maintained in a secure location in the custody of the clerk of court until further order of this court. So we now have confirmation that the LAPD is handling this investigation as an unaliving investigation, and also that they are learning information from somebody that is close to this situation. This news is huge because it's something that we've never heard actually confirmed before. And not only was there articles wrote about this from the Los Angeles Times talking to the LAPD last night, they also gave an in-person interview voice recording. And this is them talking about TMZ specifically and other news sources reporting that Celeste was frozen and found without her head attached. I'll just go ahead and play you this clip from the LAPD talking about this because I see the TMZ source is still disputing what the LAPD said and still is claiming that Celeste was partially frozen.
The LAPD is pushing back against what it calls false reporting in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas, and tonight investigators are still working to figure out the cause of her death. The commanding officer of LAPD's elite robbery homicide division says he's disappointed by what he calls misinformation from TMZ that's been picked up by other outlets in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas. The 14-year-old's body was found in the trunk of a Tesla belonging to singer David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke. TMZ is reporting Rivas's body had been frozen. Captain Scott Williams disputed that and other reports on the case during an interview with KNX News Radio's Emily Valdez.
They're reporting that Celeste's body was frozen when it was discovered is untrue. Celeste was not decapitated. So I'm not sure exactly who their source is that's giving them this information.
The car was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills in September. Williams also says detectives have no evidence Rivas's body was taken to Santa Barbara County for dismemberment.
Disappointing to me because all of this misinformation that's being put out there, it just creates additional work for my investigators that they have to do in order to get to the truth.
Y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
You know what I mean? That was Khadisha Lynn definitely filling you in on more of the info on this David case. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, the new format of this podcast, you know what I mean? We're going to go right into the thoughts of this. Now, David, you know what I'm saying? I've been covering this the whole time, and there's been definitely weird stuff going on with this case. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. People are tight-lipped. It is definitely more people involved. They was around a whole bunch of people. I mean, these two people people had, I'm talking about David and Celeste, you know what I mean? They had a circle of friends. This was a lot of people. This was not just them two, you know what I mean? This was a lot of people involved with their little circle of friends. She was definitely known. A lot of his people on his team that was a part of his little network, little gig, little performance, little artistry, whatever he got going on, people on his team that she was connected to. The picture that we seen of her at the concert of the last episode, when I covered this, you know what I'm saying, her being at the concert standing next to one of the ladies from David's team. We known that her name was Lacey, you know what I'm saying? I went into that in the last episode, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is just a wild case, you know what I'm saying? It definitely keeps going on. Now they got conflicting information. You got TMZ talking about the body was frozen, and then you got LAPD talking about the body wasn't frozen. TMZ lying, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on. It's just a weird case. It's a whole lot of misinformation being put out, a whole lot of information being put out saying this, saying that. They also said that David was cooperating with the police when we first heard of this, and then we learned that he never was cooperating with the police. So I don't know what's going on with it. It seemed like it's definitely some money being thrown around, and it's definitely some money involved for people to shut the up about this case, you know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. I don't know who he's tied to, who this dude is tied to. I've never heard of this David person before this case came about, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a young dude, so I don't be following TikTok dances and trends and songs, you know what I mean? He was a major TikTok star from what I learned from doing the research, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know anything about dude besides that this case is weird, you feel me? This is a whole weird case. It's a bunch of weird stuff going on. Like I said, people are tight-lipped. Yeah, now the big thing is we trying to find out what did he go out to Santa Barbara for. You know what I mean? He got on record for the Tesla data records that he drove out to Santa Barbara at wee hours in the morning and was there for like 7-8 hours. You know what I mean? So now it's just a question of what were you doing? You know what I mean? And if the body was transferred there to be cut up, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, put in the freezer and then transferred back to in front of his house to them picking it up, towing it away, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's very weird, you know what I mean? Carnival, you know what I'm saying? Carnival, my favorite cruise line, you know what I'm saying? Now might be the time to go and get you some Carnival tickets, you feel me? Because this hit the news. So whenever something like this hit the news about they precious Carnival line, they definitely drop ticket prices, you feel me? Because they don't like this type of exposure or this type of stuff going public, you know what I mean? So Carnival, they had a death on the ship involving a stepbrother and a sister. You know what I'm saying? The body was found rolled up under the bed in some life jackets, sheets, and towels. You know what I'm saying? The body was found rolled up under the bed. You know, if you go on a cruise, you know what I'm saying? They have it's usually somebody assigned to your corridor, you know what I mean? A person that comes in and cleans the room up whenever you may go out to the dinner time or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Somebody comes in and cleans the room. So the person came in, cleaned the room up, and discovered this body. Cruise ship suspect is believed to be her 16-year-old stepbrother. Her name was Anna Kepner. She it was said that they were at dinner, and then she said that she wasn't feeling good, so she went back to her room, and then I guess came out. She was seen on surveillance. Mind you, there's all kind of cameras on a cruise ship, you know what I mean? So she was seen coming out her room fully dressed, you know what I mean? Like ready to go out and seen mingling about the boat until I guess she came back to the room and her stepbrother was in there or something like that. You feel me? You gonna hear the story in the clip though. But now her ex-boyfriend had said something about he had heard commotion and yelling coming from the room and chairs being thrown, you know what I mean? And they said her cause of death was also asphyxiation, you know what I mean, by a arm cross, you know what I'm saying, which is just having, you know, your arm around somebody's neck from behind, you know what I mean, and strangling them, you know what I mean? They said that this was the cause of death, you know what I'm saying? Also, a lot of people are saying that her stepbrother was obsessed with her, you know what I'm saying? This is what the boyfriend of Anna Kepner was saying, you know what I mean? They are definitely keeping a lot of names secretive because these are minors, you know what I mean? Also, yeah, stated that her stepbrother was obsessed with the stepsister, and I spoke on the ex-boyfriend. So these next clips that you are about to see is just clips pertaining and talking about the Anna Kepner and this Carnival situation. Check it out.
We have a huge update regarding 18-year-old Anna Kepner. If you don't know who she is the teen that was found dead on a Carnival cruise ship. Well, it has now officially been ruled a homicide. The death certificate came out today, and it says that Anna died from mechanical asphyxia. It also states that she, quote, was mechanically asphyxiated by other person or persons, end quote. That is as direct as it gets. Someone put their hands or an arm on her neck. Now, Anna was found under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, covered with life vests. She was traveling with her grandparents, her dad, her stepmom, her siblings, and step-siblings, and according to what the family was told earlier, her injuries lined up with a bar hole, basically, which is an arm across the neck. The medical examiner still hasn't released the full autopsy or toxicology, and the FBI hasn't commented. Nobody has been charged at this point in time, but this part matters right here. A recent court filing says that Anna's stepbrother, who is a minor, could face charges. His name hasn't been released, and this is still an active federal investigation, so there's a lot that we still don't know. But it's official now that this was, in fact, a homicide. Now, I'm going to keep following this every step of the way. Make sure that you follow so that you don't miss the next update, and I'm going to ask you guys a question that everybody's already talking about. Based on what we know right now, do you think that the stepbrother is who's responsible for this? As always, drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course, hit that follow button.
Tragic new details tonight surrounding the death of an 18-year-old high school senior found dead, stuffed under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, covered in life vests, on a Carnival cruise ship while she was vacationing with her family. Anna Kepner reportedly dying by asphyxiation, choked to death by an arm across her neck. That is called a barred chokehold. I do want to start with the stepbrother, with the very latest revelations coming out of these family court documents, saying point blank, this 16-year-old, only referred to by his initials, quote, is a suspect. At this point, though, neither the FBI nor Carnival has said publicly how this young woman died, whether a crime occurred, or what led agents to focus on this teenager. Why so much secrecy surrounding this case?
The secrecy probably revolves around the fact that their potential suspect is a minor, and when you're dealing with minors and investigations, there's certain information that the law enforcement departments and the prosecutor's offices will not release. So that is certainly to be expected in this case.
It seems her mother is even struggling to get any information. Are you surprised by that? And when do you expect that we will be hearing more transparency, more information from the FBI?
You know, I'm not so much surprised about it. There are some backstories about what's going on with this family. It certainly seemed like a tumultuous relationship that everybody had going on here. So it's not surprising based on how these relationships were going. I think we're going to hear more as the investigation continues and they have some more certainty as to who their suspect may be in this case.
Heather, I'm so sorry that we're talking under these. And I'm so sorry that we're talking under these circumstances. I wanted to ask you what you can tell me about the cruise ship coming back into dock, and we were aware that your daughter was offloaded in a gurney from that cruise ship, and that investigators were aware right away. But as I understand it, you weren't told that your daughter was dead.
No, my ex-husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that my daughter died. I found out because I was in Oklahoma, and my youngest son goes to school with a good friend of mine's nephew, and he told her nephew that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. So I got a text message saying, hey, is Anna on a cruise? And you need to find out right away and call me. And I was like, what? So I called Anna's cell phone. She didn't answer. So then I got a hold of her on tried to get a hold of her on TikTok. She still didn't answer. So I started questioning, why is she asking me about that? So I got on my ex-husband's Facebook, where there was nothing on there. So I got on to Tabby, second wife's Facebook, as the woman that raised my daughter. And there I seen a picture of her car with flowers on it, and Tabby saying they were going to leave it at the high school for a short time as a memorial for Anna. And so that's when I Googled 18-year-old dies on cruise ship is what I put in the search bar, and that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google.
I cannot even imagine. Yeah, I just, honest to God, I cannot even imagine finding out about your daughter's death by Googling and not getting a call. And to make matters worse, there was a celebration of life. I'm not sure if it was a full-fledged funeral. There was some kind of memorial held yesterday, and I'm told that you were banned, that your ex-husband banned you from going. Can you walk me through what happened and what the circumstances were?
She told me that when I told him I was coming down there, he said that that he knew for a fact that Anna would not want me there. And I said, that's a lie. I was like, but whatever. And he goes, if you step foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support.
And so you went anyway, right?
Yeah.
In disguise?
Yeah, I wore a wig and I wore some really tall high heels, so that way, you know, if he was looking for somebody short, he wouldn't see me.
And were you able to attend the funeral? Did anyone see you or spot you? Like, tell me what happened next when you got there.
Nobody spotted me. I kind of stayed in the back, close to the door, so if I needed to make a quick getaway, I could. It was really nice. They had a lot of pictures of my daughter. I didn't see her dad, but then again, I wasn't trying to either. I stayed for a little bit, but I didn't stay for the whole thing. My anxiety got too high and I had to go.
Latest updates say 18-year-old Anna Kepner may have been killed while fighting off an assault from her 16-year-old stepbrother. What happened inside that cruise ship cabin now appears to be the final escalation of a threat she had been trying to avoid for months. According to Anna's ex-boyfriend, Anna was sharing a stateroom with her 14-year-old brother and her stepbrother the night she died. He says Anna's younger brother had seen the stepbrother enter Anna's space before, and on that night he heard chairs crashing, frantic movement, and Anna crying out from behind the locked door. The brother also told him that Anna had been repeatedly harassed by the stepbrother and that he had tried to warn their parents. But each time, their mother, worried the blended family would fall apart, told them not to speak up. Additional reports say Anna often left home late at night to sleep at classmates' houses because she felt unsafe around him. Why were these warnings dismissed? Why was a teenager forced to navigate danger adults refused to confront? And as more details surface, one question hangs over the case. How many chances to protect Anna were ignored before everything finally erupted behind that locked cabin door?
You know what I'm saying? That was clips and news report letting you know about this Anna Kepner situation on Carnival. You know what I'm saying? It's always unfortunate to see when something like this happens on Carnival. You know what I mean? I think it's because I love the cruises so much. You know what I'm saying? I love vacationing on the cruise, so I don't like seeing negative reports like this. Although, like I said, this would definitely be a time to buy some tickets because they definitely gonna drop them prices once something like this comes out. You know what I mean? They do not like this type of exposure. You know what I'm saying? They like everything to be all fine and dandy, just like how we know how Disneyland operate. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about anything happening on them lands, on that property, nothing, you feel me? But we all know things happen on that property. You know what I'm saying? This is a place where millions of people transfer through them gates by the day. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, with that being said, the percentage is high of people probably dying at Disneyland, fights, probably murders that we just don't hear about. You know what I'm saying? So because they don't want that type of publicity. You know what I mean? So they definitely do a lot of damage control. A lot of crisis teams kick in and control a lot of the stuff that you see when it comes to reporting anything about Disneyland and Carnival is the same way. But once it gets out, they definitely gonna drop them prices. You know what I mean? But this is a very unfortunate situation. That brother seemed like something was going on with dude. I don't know. But I'm saying, you definitely is a suspect. You know what I mean? You was even the parents, as you seen in the clip, you know what I'm saying that he was the last one in the room. You know what I mean? Like she didn't want to put it on him, but at the same time, like, nigga, you was the last dude seen. You was the last person going in the room. You know what I'm saying? Seen. So I don't know. And then they saying that he don't have no recollection and no memory of what happened and none of it. So I don't know. You feel me? I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened in that room. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people were saying that she fought her way. You know what I mean? And didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? They was in a fight and she fought till death type deal. You know what I mean? This is what they are saying. You know what I'm saying? So sad situation. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Anna Kepner. You know what I mean? Definitely condolences to her family in dealing with that. Yo, what's up? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Just in case this is interrupting my episode of your current events, news, interrupting your headlines, all the info that you getting from this episode. You know what I'm saying? I'm interrupting to let you know. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. I promise you won't be disappointed. You know what I mean? It's a quick little end dessert. Reminding you to hit that subscribe button. If you ain't hit it yet, go ahead and hit it now. Now is your time. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do that while I'm pausing this information, pausing these headlines, pausing these current events that you're getting hit with. Now is your time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and comment on something that you've been thinking about, that you've seen in this episode that you wanted to say. Go ahead and comment that. You know what I mean? Go ahead and hit the like button too if you like it. You know what I'm saying? If you like this content, that's KONTNT. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends about it. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this episode. Get back to this good information that I'm feeding in your brain. Bluface, you know what I'm saying? Bluface, I usually don't touch on, like I said, I don't touch on these ratchet stories, you feel me? Bluface is tied to everything ratchet. This man has a network called Zeus, where he puts on these shows. What are they? Baddies North, Baddies Jamaica, whatever it is. I don't watch a second of it. It's just something ratchet. I know about it. They just let the girls fight on there every episode. It is girls throwing hands, and the security lets them fight for a good 10 seconds before they move in and break it up. I'm as a 42-year-old man, I'm not into sitting back and being entertained by that. You know what I mean? So Bluface's Ratchetness, you know what I'm saying? He was recently messing with Hazel E. You know what I mean? Let you know a little bit about Bluface. He has just got out of jail, was serving a charge for busting off his weapon at somebody in a public scenery. You know what I mean? Outside of a club. You know what I'm saying? He was seen on video camera popping off at somebody that was driving away. You feel me? So he did a few years in jail and he's fresh out. So he's fresh out and I guess being a horn dog. You know what I mean? Because we done seen him since he been out. Krishan. We done seen him with Krishan. We done seen him with some girl named Jenny69. Some I guess OnlyFans chick. I don't know. You know what I mean? Then we seen him with this new chick who's calling herself to the public a side chick. And we seen him with Hazel E. You know what I mean? So that's just 4 women that he been in public with since he been out of jail. You feel me? So I guess Hazel E thought they were going deep into some type of serious relationship. You know what I mean? But he recently had just broke up with her. I guess it seems like he was with her for about 3-4 days. He's fresh out of jail, back to his antics. I'm not surprised by none of it. He done made Krishan mad and pissed off. She done made videos talking all kind of mess about him. Hazel E now mad at him, pissed off. She done made a video talking all kind of trash about him. Being that he broke up with her and said that she was too old. Said he needed somebody young. Said she was too old for him and a whole bunch of other stuff that you're going to see in the clip that he said. But now he's messing with a certified side chick who she calls herself a side chick. She calls herself as such. First, Bluface released this little video that I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut these up. So Bluface had released this video pretty much letting everybody know that he dumped Hazel E. Check it out.
Officially letting Hazel go from the roster. Hazel E, you are too old to be acting this young. We're done. Head on. We're done. I'd rather be with a young bitch, you feel me? If any bitch got more patience than you at 45, you're out of here. Cancel Christmas. It's over.
So as you seen, I mean, that was him dumping Hazel E, saying that she was too old for him. And then we had him put out this video, I guess with his new side chick, with the white chick. They was out eating crab legs at his restaurant called King Crab. They released this video right here of them eating crabs and all that. Check it out.
Okay, let me try it again. Bon appetit, bitch.
Yeah.
Look how cute this egg is. The crab legs. He's stopping. That's him, bitch. No, I didn't. Yeah. It smells good. Look at how long you're going to kiss.
You know what I'm saying? That was her, you know, cupcaking, giving them kisses and all that, eating crab legs together, laughing and having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess Hazel Lee got wind of that video and seen that, and then let this video out talking all the mess about the new side chick. Check it out.
I don't understand why the fuck you think you can be done with me, nigga. I'm done with you. You over here being disrespectful as fuck, kissing fucking trailer park trash all in the lips, taking it, eating, sucking crab legs together. Okay. I'm too old. You're a convicted felon. Let's start there. I went below to fuck with you. You can put out the receipts. You bought me flights before. You've given me money before. You just sent me 5 bands the other day telling me to stay down so I can put up with your fuck shit. That's not enough. It's really not enough, honey. I'm done. Rather have a young bitch. Yeah, look at what you got. You got a bunch of OF girls, strippers, bitches that live in, you know, back alleys and shit. Your mama called it a homeless shelter.
Show me your pictures.
I make you look better. And all I asked was for mutual respect, which I thought we agreed upon. But your old ways are creeping back in because you're feeling yourself. You know, last week when the probation came and, you know, they were going to take you to jail again for all the stuff you weren't supposed to have. So I might not have been there for jail, but I made sure your ass didn't go back to jail just last Monday. Don't play with me. I did nothing wrong for you to deserve the disrespect you've given me for the last 24, 48 hours. So you don't know me, you're right, you flew me out, you didn't get to smash, you know what I'm saying? Things didn't go that way, but whatever, do you, move on. You done with me, I'm done with you, like, nigga. I'm not a bitch that needs you. I'm self-made. We said that from the beginning. You asked me to be in your video that went viral in #1. I wonder if you would have put, you know, all your little flunkies in there, how those numbers wouldn't have did.
That was Hazel E getting her little clap back home, involving herself in the ratchet love triangle circle of Bluface, fresh out of jail, you know what I mean? And also, then the side chick had seen the video that Hazel E put out that y'all just seen, and then put this video out. Check it out.
That man ain't give you no smooch. Trailer park? I mean, yeah, I used to visit my daddy. He lived in the trailer, but I used to go back to the trenches. But nothing wrong with that, because you know why? I took myself out of my element. So, bitch, listen, I'm going to need you to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, because, bitch, you ugly as a motherfucker, bitch. And you the same hoe that met me and told me how beautiful I was. That ass can't even move, bitch. Let alone that ass wasn't even moving for my goddamn mans to be. You're too busy trying to make your ex-husband mad. And that's where you need to stop that, because you're humiliating yourself.
Yeah, then that was her clapping back at Hazel Lee, the ratchetness of these broads going back and forth over Bluface, fresh out of jail. This ratchet topic, like I said, is topics that, this is a Wednesday, so usually when you're looking for topics and stuff like that on a Wednesday, it's really never really nothing going on besides Trump and politics. You know what I'm saying? I don't really mess with politics on this channel. If you follow this channel, I'm going to do too many politics on here. You know what I'm saying? So if I add something ratchet, just know that I was trying to put together 4 topics for you, and this was the one that was making a lot of noise. You know what I mean? But yeah, before it starts on that, I don't got nothing to say on that. You feel me? Bluface is fresh out of jail. He's being horny. You know what I'm saying? He was around men for whatever amount of years in jail, working out and thinking it up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he was doing to bulk up, you see a little bigger. You know what I mean? Nowadays than he was. He was kind of skinny when he went in, and he gained a little muscle mass. But you know, that's what you do when you serving time. You don't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna work out or you gonna eat the bullshit in there until you get fat for not doing nothing. You know what I mean? That's your only options. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got nothing to say on that, man. You know what I mean? He fresh out of jail being a horny dog. You know what I'm saying? Sticking his dick in whatever he can find and stick his in. You know what I mean? MIT puts out that AI can already replace 11.7% of the workforce as a whole in the United States, and that's about $1.2 trillion in total wages. That 11.7%. You feel me? States like Tennessee, Iowa, and Utah is already using what they call the Iceberg model index, in which they are calling it an index. That is a system that built agent clones of 150 million Americans. It is software that counterparts real people in order to identify at-risk jobs, so they say. I mean, that's what I I wrote on there. You know what I'm saying? So they say, you know what I mean? That's what they say that this little program software is built for, but it is definitely built to mimic you and to analyze, so they say, at-risk jobs before they become at a risk. This is what the model that they are using to implement the takeover of artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So in this next clip, you're going to see this is a news report of this MIT program of creating robots and artificial intelligence that mimics you. Check it out.
MIT has built agent clones of 151 million working Americans, essentially software counterparts to real people, in order to identify which jobs are most at risk years before layoffs hit. Now, it's called the Iceberg Index, and it uses these agents to map more than 32,000 skills across 923 occupations in 3,000 counties, revealing exposure to AI displacement in every state, not just coastal cities. The report shows that while only 2% of AI-driven wage disruption is visible in tech hubs today, there's actually a hidden layer of exposure that is 5 times larger than what we see today, cutting across industries and geographies, hence why they call it the Iceberg Index. Now, findings indicate that AI can already take over tasks tied to nearly 12% of the U.S. labor market. That's about $1.2 trillion in wages, especially in careers tied to healthcare, finance, and professional services. For lawmakers preparing billion-dollar reskilling and training investments, the index offers a detailed map of where disruption is forming down to the zip code, and crucially, a way to run what-if scenarios before they commit real money and legislation. You've got states like Tennessee, Utah, and North Carolina, also co-authors on this new report, that are already using Iceberg to test everything from new training programs to skills-first hiring rules before they formally commit to policies.
You know what I mean? She was telling you all about the program that MIT has developed and telling you that 11.7% of the workforce as a whole, AI can already replace. 11.7% of population that goes to work said AI can replace you. And that's just right now. So that number is definitely going to grow. Pretty soon, it's going to be 20%. You feel me? The next 2 years, let's say a year, it's going to be probably up to 30%. Let's say the year after that, what are we at? 26, 27, 28? Let's say by 29, it's going to be at a good 40%. By 2030, and mark my words, man, if you watch this podcast, this is going on YouTube, so it's cemented. 2030 is definitely going to be the year that all of this that we know now is going to be a change for sure. You feel me? That's their goal by 2030. We can even go into the fires. You feel me? Palisade, the fires that happened out here in LA. You know what I'm saying? If you look up, just type in 2030 Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Type in 2030 California. Jamaica. Look what happened in Jamaica. We all seen the hurricane, the tragedy that happened. The hurricane was steered. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say nothing else but that was steered, you feel me, towards Jamaica. Now type in Jamaica 2030 in Google, you feel me? You're going to see these agendas, these plans that they have to make a digital world. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they needed that land, you know what I'm saying, to tear down, to build up something new. You know what I'm saying? The digital movement, the digital era is coming. I'm trying to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? AI is taking over, you feel me? This is what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, you go to work, whatever it is that you do, all my workers out there, or everybody that clock in at a job, whatever it is that you do at a job, they got AI programs mimicking exactly your movements, what you do, what you're looking at, how you input the data in that computer, how you do it, how you look when you do it, the emotions on your mind when you're doing it. Everything is being monitored through electronic eyes. You know what I mean? That's camera work. You know what I'm saying? Cameras. You know what I'm saying? How your phone, you feel me? Bio identification. You know what I'm saying? You look at your phone and boom, unlock. You know what I'm saying? With a look. You know what I mean? That's crazy tech to me. You know what I'm saying? As a 42-year-old man, that's a wild tech to me. That's too much to implement into the society that I live in. You know what I mean? Because if that's on your phone, best believe that is on the camera at the stop sign, the camera at the stoplight, in the intersection. They definitely are IDing you every time you are out and about and being seen by an electronic eye, you know what I mean? These robots, man, Amazon is already rolling them out in some of these warehouses, rolling them out, you know what I'm saying? Taking over jobs, you feel me? Mailmen, we gonna have drones doing that soon, you know what I'm saying? The mailman is finna be a mail drone, you know what I'm saying? Or a mail cyborg, something for show. But all of us humans that work, AI and tech is coming for us for sure. Everything that you do as an occupation, they developing a robot that can do exactly what you're doing, and they don't have to pay you. They don't have to pay a robot $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $45 an hour, depending on where you at and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That is cutting costs down tremendously by rolling out robots in these warehouses. You feel me? Which means more money for CEOs, for presidents of companies, for founders of companies, for, you feel me, the top dogs, the big dicks. You know what I'm saying? As old school word that they call the top dogs, the top chairmen. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's looking bad for the future when it comes to thinking about the technology that's going to be coming into our lives, you know what I mean? Also, digital currency, that's another thing that's kind of making everything digital, you know what I'm saying? Ask China about it, ask Paris about it, ask, overseas, these places overseas that are doing this, Sweden, you know what I mean? Giving you a social credit score, you know what I'm saying? So let's say, for example, I get on Facebook and I say, Donald Trump, you know what I mean? You're a racist son of a piece of, and all this, get to talking all this about Donald Trump, you feel me? Letting my opinion fly about how I feel about the government, how I feel I'm putting stuff about Illuminati on there, I'm putting stuff about Freemasons, how they run the world, all this stuff, you feel me? That's gonna lower my social credit score. Yeah, so then they control what you can buy. You know what I'm saying? If you have a bad social credit score, they can tie that to your digital wallet. You feel me? So if you got a bad social credit score, let's say you only, or let's take another example. Let's take health. Let's say you diabetic, you know what I mean? And you can't have, let's say, over 10 grams of sugar purchased in a month. So let's say you buy a bag of sugar. That bag is 20-pound bag of sugar. You feel me? That's over the limit. So next time you run out of sugar, let's say you run out that sugar. Let's say you're in a house with 15 children and they all eat cereal in the morning and put a little sugar in it. So let's say you run out 3 days later. You feel me? You try to go back and get some more. You're going to get denied at the cashier of buying that sugar because you have reached the limit. This is the type of totalitarian control that they is reaching for, you feel me? And once they digitalize currency, that is the next step to having full control over everything you do and stand for as a human on this planet, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I can go on and on about that, you know what I mean? But that's the 4 topics I got for you today, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, be on the lookout for this AI, this tech. I try to put something in all these episodes about tech to let you know, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know what I mean? That's about all I got for today. You know what I'm saying? This episode 335, you know what I mean? It's probably a little longer episode, but usually that's how it goes when I have not recorded, you know what I mean? That means I missed it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, episode 335, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, you know what I mean? You could have been doing anything you wanted to do, no matter who you was, you know what I'm saying? Whether you was a little brother, older sister, whether you was a little cousin, an older cousin, whether you was cousin Pete, cousin Nunu, cousin Man, cousin Mookie, could have been auntie, could have been an uncle, could have been grandma, grandfather, could have been mother, father, you know what I'm saying? Whoever it is, and if you got a pet that's sitting there, you watching it right along with your pet, you pet your pet, whether your pet is a cat, you have a pet dog, a pet hedgehog, you have a pet squirrel, a pet alligator, a pet crocodile, you know what I'm saying? You have a pet giraffe peeking in with his long head through the window or something, you know what I'm saying? You have a pet Gila monster, a pet bearded dragon, whoever your pet is, you feel me? As long as they got eyes on Kons Podcast, I definitely salute to them, you know what I'm saying? Like you see the homie scrolling up that screen, you know what I mean? But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. The beat you hear creeping up was definitely made by none other than Amazing Beats, you feel me? Rest in peace to my dog, man, you know what I'm saying? I watched him make this beat, put it together in about 2 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, enjoy this beat that you hear creeping up in the background and enjoy my last minute little comments on these topics and these credits as they roll up the screen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment on what you think, and tell somebody about Kons Podcast. Constant content.
Wake me, don't you?
Kons motherfucking podcast. Constant motherfucking content.
Wake me, don't you? 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 Wake me, don't you?
So hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing. You understand? Then that.
Wake me, don't you?